If you believe what the government schools have taught you, that God or a faith in God had nothing to do with the founding of this country, go back and read some of the founding documents.
Just popping in here real quick to remind you that America is not and has never been a Christian nation. First things first, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution aren't the same thing. The Declaration of Independence is a war proclamation and isn't binding, while the Constitution is the supreme law document of the United States. And of course, the Declaration of Independence set forward certain ideals that the Founding Fathers wanted included in their new country, but none of those were legally enforceable until those rights were enumerated in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. That's why it's so important that the Constitution intentionally never mentions God, and that's why Article 6 explicitly states that we can't have a religious requirement to run for public office. This is also why the Bill of Rights literally opens with, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof." This is called the Establishment Clause, and it not only protects your right to practice any religion you want, but it also protects all U.S. citizens from having religion imposed upon them. In fact, the first 4 presidents of the United States all spoke out against infusing religion into politics. George Washington said, quote, "Path of true piety is so plain as to require but little political direction." In 1797, in the Treaty of Tripoli, John Adams wrote, "As the government of the United States is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion." In 1802, Thomas Jefferson declared that when America adopted the Establishment Clause, they built a, quote, "wall of separation between the church and state." And James Madison said, "Religion and government will both exist in greater purity the less they are mixed together." And just to get ahead of the argument saying that, but God is on our money and God is in the Pledge of Allegiance, Under God wasn't added to the Pledge of Allegiance until 1954, and In God We Trust didn't appear on any of our currency until 1955. For context, that's only 68 years ago, which is exactly the same age as the one and only Oprah Winfrey. Oh, and one last thing, all these major founding fathers that you think were Christians, most of them were actually deists who rejected the basic principles of what being Christian is. Like Thomas Jefferson, who literally wrote the Declaration of Independence, but he didn't believe in miracles, the Trinity, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, or even God. So even if you believe that these people were endorsing a religion, sorry to tell you it wasn't yours.